Hello everyone, the Shady Thrifter here again to bring another video about thrifting, all things thrifted, thrifted fashion, vintage fashion, fashion.
Hey, it's me.
Welcome to the Broke Girl Fashion University. I am the Shady Thrifter, and here at this university, the tuition is always free. The only requirement is that you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and you can get this good thrifting. I got my notes here to help everyone to learn to thrift like a pro. So let's just get into it because I have 10 tips to help you thrift like a pro. Let's get into it. And these 10 tips are tips that I swear by. These are tips that I use every single time I walk into the thrift store to help me navigate effectively so that I am able to find items quickly and effectively. And, it works every time like a charm for me. So let's just get into the tips. And let me just tell you, this video is a learning video. So if you're looking for, videos where I try on clothes and things like that, this is not the video. This video is strictly about learning the art of thrifting 101 at the Broke Girl University. So let's just get into tip number one. And I'm going to be looking at my notes because I have taken notes prior to recording this video to help you and to make sure that I'm staying, on subject and not going off a subject. So tip number one, prepare yourself for what you're looking for. You have to go into the thrift store prepared. You have to have some ideas of what it is you are looking for at the thrift store. And the way that you do this is that you log on to Pinterest. And if you don't have a Pinterest account, I suggest you create one. Subscribe to a couple of magazine subscriptions if you cannot afford that. And I'm not saying this because right now we're all, one paycheck from being homeless. And so when I say this, take this literally. If you cannot afford a magazine subscription, you can go into, like Goodwill stores, and they have lots of magazines, vintage magazines, just all kinds of magazines. You can go into libraries, anywhere to see pictures of fashion and what catches your eye. But I will say Pinterest is probably the most effective tool in searching fashion and style and, how to put things together. So, like I said, Pinterest, magazine subscriptions, or just magazines and books on fashion at the library, and also YouTube. YouTube is a great tool for you to research just about anything. I mean, they have actual designers who put on complete fashion shows and upload them to YouTube so that you can see what the latest trends, are for whatever year you are in. So, and I still all the time I watch Chanel fashion shows, Yves Saint Laurent, Gucci, Louis. I love watching fashion shows. It just triggers my creativity and makes me want to go out and thrift more. So thrift tip number one is prepare yourself prior to even thinking about going thrifting. The second tip, set a thrifting budget, because although people think that secondhand stores, the whole myth about secondhand stores is that they are for poor people, that is not the case. Secondhand stores can be rather expensive over time. Even, when you see stuff now, we have Google and all these sites where these stores can actually look up the name brands and the prices and take pictures through Google Images and find what the retail value of a lot of items are. And yeah, they'll mark them up. So set some sort of budget for yourself prior to thrifting. The third thrift tip is call around to find what days the stores that you are going to are having sales. Most thrift stores have promotions and sale days where they mark certain colors 50, 30, 20% off. So if I were you and this is my first time thrifting, I would definitely call around to the thrift stores in my area, make note of what days are their discount days, and utilize that to your advantage. So, you always want to find out how you can save $1, especially when you want to become a pro thrifter. And that way you can definitely maximize your savings. All right. So the fourth tip is, and I say this in all my videos where I'm doing tips, bring a donation. You always want to pull something. There has to be something in your closet, in your wardrobe that you do not want, because I'm telling you, once you start this thrifting, it will add up quickly. I mean, I literally thrift at least 2 times a week, at least once a week on the weekends if I can. So just imagine me bringing all those items in and not taking anything out. It can seriously be overwhelming over a period of time. So what I'm trying to do is get rid of a lot of the fast fashion items that I have purchased in the past. I usually pack those things up and donate them to the thrift stores. And yeah, that worked for me. So hopefully it will work for you. And I know at least 2 of the major thrift chains like Value Village, Unique Thrift Store, and Savers, they may be all the same, all the same under the same umbrella, but they do offer coupons. Once you drop your donation off, you will get a 25% off coupon. And it may not seem like a lot, but I will tell you, in times where you see something like really nice and it may be $90, $100, that 25% off or 20% off definitely comes in handy. And even if you don't see anything super expensive and your total, just your total, they apply that amount to the total of what you spend. So, yeah, that can be a huge savings. Okay. Okay. Tip number 5, pack your patience. I'm telling you, this is a major, 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 major tip. Thrifting is not going to be effective if you do not. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm looking down at Solo because I got to keep my eye on him. I'm sorry. I had to keep my eye on him because Solo will chew up the whole house if I don't pay attention to him. But anyway, yeah, pack your patience, because if you don't pack your patience, I'm telling you, you're not going to be as effective as you would like to be. So when you guys see me pulling out all these wonderful pieces and you're like, how in the heck did you find these items? It's because I went with patience. I know that there's so many different items in the thrift store that there's just no time for rushing. So don't even go if you don't have the patience to seek and search. It's like a treasure hunt. And if you do not pack your patience, you will not find the pot of gold. Okay? So pack your patience. And that is tip number 5. Tip number 6 is bring reusable bags when you go to the thrift store. So hopefully you're going to have a donation. You're going to have it in your reusable bag. You get to the thrift store, you empty out your donation, you get your coupon, and you reuse that bag. Because remember, the whole reason that we are thrifting is to save the planet and to make sure, that we are being responsible to our planet and making sure that we are using as minimum plastic bags and just stuff. So we want to make sure we bring reusable bags. Okay. So now tip number 7. You guys are doing well because you are focused and you are taking this information down because you are going to be a pro thrifter. And when I look up, I'm going to see your page on YouTube, you showing me all the wonderful things that you have found. And I'm going to be so, so happy for you. So tip number 7 is, okay, so at this point we are at the thrift store because we got our reusable bag, we packed our patients, we got our donation, and now we are entering the thrift store. Tip number 7 is, upon entering the thrift store, you always want to find that area that the thrift store has the most expensive items or the treasured items. These are items that has been handpicked by the thrift store for whatever reason. Maybe it's because of the brand, maybe because of the uniqueness. It's whatever it is, you want to check out that section first, because depending on what they have, that could be your budget. You know, it could have been all worth the trip. That one piece that they have behind the cabinet can be your, I found my goal, it's time to go home. Trust me, it sounds crazy, but I have done it on many occasions. I walked in the thrift store, I walked over there, I see Yves Saint Laurent pumps, $100, my 25% coupon, pay for them, my budget is done. That's all I bought was, $80 to spend, and I already spent them on that one item. But that is something that I know is worth it, is something that I love, and yeah, so definitely hit that section up when you first walk in the thrift store. I call it the boutique counter, and I don't know what you can call it. They don't really have a name. My thrift store Savers, they do have a sign up that says boutique or something, but most thrift stores have some kind of counter, glass counter, or, where they keep stuff in the back where you have to ask for assistance to actually see it. So that's the counter I'm talking about. So that's the first thing you want to do when you walk in the door. All right, so now we're on tip number 8. Okay, refer back to your notes, because walking in the thrift store can be overwhelming. It can take you can pretty much just be like, oh my God, what did I come in here for? Because it's so much stuff, so many patterns. Just remember, this is a place where people drop off all their unwanted stuff. So just imagine all of that stuff in one location. And depending on the thrift store, it can be quite overwhelming. Trust me. It can be, you can just want to walk in and walk back out. Because I'm telling you, my daughters, before they learned the art of thrifting, they would literally go in the thrift store and say, I don't see anything. And I'm like, it's plenty. I see a lot. But refer back to your Pinterest, refer back to your notes. Hopefully you saved something to remind you of what it is you came looking for. And that way you will soar. You will be focused. You will, have an idea of what it is you are shopping for. So refer to your notes, your magazines, save photos to your phone. All right. So tip number 9, don't pay a whole lot of attention to sizes. I mean, of course, when it comes to shoes and things like that, but even shoes sometimes. In the thrift stores, sometimes they'll put a size 9, 9.5 on a size 8 shoe. So really take your time and look at everything, pick it up, inspect it, try them on if you can, because there's plenty of times where I've tried on a pair of shoes that says 9.5, 10, and I can fit them and they're fitting comfortably because I wear a size 8.5. So remember, every item in the thrift store, some of it has flaws. Sometimes people will buy a pair of shoes that's a 10, and we've all probably done it, bought a pair of shoes and it's our size, but when we put them on, they don't fit. So even though that shoe.
Unfortunately, my microphone stopped working, creating technical issues. Hopefully, you learned something from this video. Thanks for watching. Bye.